Coming to you live from the well. This is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jordan.
And we are eventually going to play Pariahs by Small Box Games.
But first, you're going to teach it to me.
Oh, is that this video?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to teach Brandon to play Pariahs.
For a second, this is like that bad dream where I'm not ready for the test.
That's funny, yeah. No worries. I will be teaching Pariahs to you.
Yes, this is I call these, at least when I make the thumbnails, I call them casual how to plays because there's not going to be fancy B-roll or a script. I just need to know how to play this so that we can play it. Jordan has the knowledge and is going to pass it on to me, and you can watch.
There you go. All right.
How do you play Pariahs, Jordan?
Good question. So first I'm going to talk to you about your various card decks.
Okay.
So we each have two decks. We have a deck labeled Your Deck, so this is your deck.
Okay.
And we have another deck called the Supplicant Deck, and we each have those. In your deck, there are 10 cards, I believe, maybe 12. No, it's 10.
Okay. Are these symmetrical?
They are symmetrical. And each of these cards has a value in the top corner. This is their influence value, and it's going to be a 2 or a 3 at all times.
Okay.
And then they're going to have what's called a class. And the class is how many little bars are under them, and all the cards in your deck are class 1.
Yeah, okay.
Then you also have a supplicant deck, and at all times during the game, you're going to have 3 face-up supplicants. And if ever you would remove a supplicant from this little area, you'll replace it with another card from your supplicant deck. And these have, again, the influence values of ranging between 2 and 3, and then classes ranging from 2 to 4. Okay. So
it's fine that I have duplicates as far as like start of game setup.
It's fine that you have duplicates. So this is the setup for the game, and then we also have empty areas for our devotees, our support, and our converts. Mm-hmm. So this is a political themed game, and the goal of the game is to have the most support at the end. Support is your points, and you'll track your support by putting cards onto your support, showing that you have support.
Oh, just face down cards. Face down cards. Support each.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Each face down card is a support, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most support will win.
Cool.
So the last bit of setup is we're each going to take 3 cards from our deck randomly and without looking. Okay. And we are going to just put them here.
Oh. They go away?
You'll see in a minute. And then we're going to shuffle them up beneath this initiative deck.
Oh.
Okay, and this is going to decide who's the first player every round, essentially. So we're going to shuffle this deck up without looking, and then I'm going to put the initiative deck thing on top. And then every round, we're going to start by each drawing a hand of 5 cards from our deck. So not your supplicant deck.
Oh, it's the biggest deck, though. It feels
right. I know, but no. The normal deck. So you'll have a hand of 5 cards, and then we're going to reveal the bottom card from the initiative deck. And in this case, it's one of your cards, so you get to look at it, and then you get to make a choice. You can either draw that card and go second, or you can throw that card out of the game and go first.
I'm going to draw it and go second.
Okay, and so I would go first. And that is the setup for a round. And there are 6 rounds in the game because there are 6 cards under the.
I had envisioned you just shuffle them but okay, 6 rounds.
No, 6 rounds. So you'll get to make that choice 3 times throughout the game.
Got it.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Then we're going to start playing turns. On your turn, you're going to take a card and you're going to play it to one of these locations. Okay. There are 4 locations, each comprised of 2 cards. So this is the well, this is the hall, this is the circle, and this is the stage. Mm-hmm. When you play a card to a location, you can only have 1 card of your color in a location. So if I play to this side of the circle, I could never play to this side.
Okay.
Because there can only be 1 card of my color. And we're going to continue playing cards back and forth until it's someone's turn and there is nowhere for them to play legally.
So is it just... we're each going to take 4 turns?
Not necessarily, because sometimes you'll play cards and then they'll be removed.
Okay.
But basically you're going to play until there's nowhere valid for you to play, and then once that happens, the round will end, and we're going to do a little bit of end of round scoring. Here's the end of round scoring. First, if you have 1 card of each class, 1 through 4, on these 4 different locations, you get 1 support. And you'll take a card from your supplicant deck and put it in your support pile.
It's like a lot of work for 1 support.
Yep. It's a low-scoring game.
Okay.
The second thing we're going to check is we're going to add up all of your influence values. So remember, every card has 2 to 3 influence. Mm-hmm. These locations also have influence. So if I'm on this location, I get both this influence and that influence.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And we're going to add up our totals, and whoever has the highest influence scores 1 support.
Oh, okay. So the support for having all 4 classes was not mutually exclusive. We can both score that. But then the highest influence is a competition. I got it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So only one of us can score that. And then we'll play the next round.
Okay.
So what are the action spots? That's really all you need to know now. So first off, you'll notice some of these have stars beneath them. Both well locations, 1 in the hall and 1 in the circle. Each of those cards, and it's also written here, this is exactly what the card does, but each of them allow you to use the ability of the card you placed there. So if I go here, all these cards have abilities on them, but you only get to activate the ability on the card if you're going to a location with that star.
That says so. Or and the star and it just says in English.
And it will also say so. So we'll start here with the stage. This location on the left says gain 1 card. Gaining a card is gaining a card from your supplicant pile into the bottom of your deck.
Okay.
That's gain a card, and then you'd replace it. And then draw a card lets you draw the top card of your deck. This says gain 1 card and earn 1 convert. A convert is a card taken from the opponent's supplicant deck and added to your converts. When you have 7 cards here, you get 2 support.
Oh, wow.
And then all the cards here are shunned, meaning they go to the bottom of the supplicant deck from which they came.
Okay.
All right, so that's gain 1 card, earn 1 convert. The circle says gain 1 card, use the ability of the card you placed here. So that's simple enough. And then the other circle is exchange one of your placed cards with one of your supplicants. So if I already have a placed card out here, I could swap it with a supplicant, and it would become a supplicant.
Got it. And if you want to never see it again, you can shun it later with the hall.
Right. So at the hall, you can shun all your supplicants, meaning they'll all go to the bottom of the supplicant deck, and then you can use the ability of the card you placed here.
And that does just mean your row of supplicants, right? Not any that have made their way into your hand or
just the row.
something. Okay.
Yep. And in fact, if they're in your hand, they're not supplicants anymore.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then this says move one of your supplicants to your hand or move 1 card from your hand to your devotees. So your devotees is another area. When you have 3 cards here of the same class, meaning 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Oh, so they're face up here?
Yeah, here they're face up. If you have 3 of the same class, you shun them and get 1 point, 1 support. Okay. And now you know all the ways to score points, basically, in the game. And then finally you have the well. Draw 1 card, use the ability of the card you placed here, or draw 2 cards, use the ability of the card you placed here. So obviously one of those is better than the other, but this one has more influence. That's all the rules, except obviously you don't know what all the cards do.
So it ends after 6 rounds. Is there any end game scoring that's different?
You just add up all the influence in your deck, and every 10 influence is worth 1 support.
Oh, so you get some extra support for just having a lot of
a bigger
cards.
deck. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing I forgot to say is at the end of every round, sorry, I should have done this earlier. The end of every round, all the cards that are out and in your hand and in your deck all get shuffled together, and then you redraw 5 cards. So everything will kind of reset in between rounds in terms of what's in your deck. Your supplicants will stay out.
So you're not holding
you never
hand
hold
cards at all
for the next round.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So the drawing a card, which I did mainly so that in our example you would go first, when I had the choice whether to draw it or not, it doesn't actually feel that valuable to me. Because you're not going to play them all.
Well, you'd be surprised. A number of these things that say use the ability of your card, many of the abilities make that card go somewhere else.
Okay.
And then that location frees up again, and so you can play more than 4 cards, generally speaking, in a round.
I see.
Like, for instance, this one says draw 1 card, move 1 placed card to another location, so that's just a move effect. But this one says draw 2 cards, gain 2, draw 3, and then shun 2. These are bad examples. But let me see, there must be one here.
That's okay, there'll be examples in our playthrough.
Okay, there you go. Anyway, it happens.
Well, thank you for the teach.
You're welcome. Okay, sorry. No, there we go, that's it. It's actually a very simple game.
Don't forget there's cameras on you.
Yeah.
We are going to play Pariahs. It's going to be a separate video. If you happen to watch this the day it goes up, I'll probably publish our playthrough the next day. If you're watching this on any other day, it's up on the channel. You can go find it right after you like this video and subscribe. And check out Jordan on the Game Brain podcast too. And until next time, be optimal.